Hi, color theory class. Welcome to week 2. You made it to week 2. So I'm just going to talk about what we're going to be doing this week and what is expected and what is due and what you need to do for next week. I'm just here on the Canvas page. I'm going to go ahead and find week 2, which is here, and I'm going to click on class 2. Everything you need to know is in here, in the class part. We're going to be doing about 5 things. Some are very simple and others require more creativity. The first thing I'm going to talk about is we're going to be reviewing more lessons in Photoshop. So I want to make everyone just up to speed at the same place. We're going to be reviewing layers and selections. So there's 2 websites. So if you just click on here, it's going to take you to these tutorials. So you need to go ahead and watch all the videos in here, and I would like for you to follow along with the videos. There's some files here. You can click on that, and that will provide you with these same exact files. So I recommend that you get the files, you watch the video, and you follow along. These are very simple things, and you should all already know them if you've taken Art 102, but maybe you don't have Photoshop at home, or maybe you're rusty, so I want everybody to just refresh, because you're definitely going to need to know everything about layers and everything about selections in order to do this assignment. This is the second website tutorial from Adobe, and you can get the files here. This is all about selections. So you're just going to watch these really quick tutorials and just follow along. This is talking about the quick selection tool and select and mask. Okay, so that's those 2 lessons, review lessons. The third review lesson is here, and it's text. It's not a video. I want you to read this, because although these videos are really great, they don't say everything about selections, and selections are really important, and there's just so much that you can do with them. So I don't think that these videos are thorough enough. So I would like you to just read this and have Photoshop open at the same time and make some selections, and then just go ahead and try all of these out, because they will do things that are amazing. Select inverse, select all, select modify. So I want you all to go through this and read these. You should also know that there's different selection tools, and you can use them one after the other. You're not just stuck with one selection tool. So say you make a marquee box, and then all of a sudden you want to use the lasso tool. So you can add and subtract with many different selection tools, and you should know at least 3 selection tools. Here are some: the marquee tool, the lasso tool, and the magic wand. So I want you all to know at least 3, to be able to name at least 3 quick selection tools. Selection tools. Name at least 3 selection tools. There's many of them. The other video does talk about adding selections and adding to selections and subtracting from selections, which you can also find here. And it does talk about the quick selection tool. And it does talk about select and mask. So these are just to help you, and you need to open your class notebook, and you need to be recording all these things, these notes for yourself in your notes, in your class notebook. anything you don't know or anything you want to remember or reference, you need to write it down. I don't expect you to like copy this whole page. I just want you to write things down that you definitely don't have it memorized in your head that you need to access. The best way to learn something is to write it down, to remember, right? So, okay. So this is just all about how to use the selected mask, which the tutorial does talk about. All right, so those are the 3 lessons. Layers from the Adobe Photoshop website, selections from the Adobe Photoshop website, and my little notes here that are just on here. I want you to look at them and play around. Mainly right here, which is not talked about. Select inverse, select all, and select modify. Those 3 things are not really talked about in Adobe Video. The next thing I'm going to introduce is your first assignment, which should be very, very fun, because since up until now, you've been just kind of reviewing Photoshop stuff, which could be maybe a little boring, but is very necessary in order to do your actual Photoshop work. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce your very first assignment. So let's go. You can click on there. We're just doing part 1. This is an assignment about 3 flavors. So I want you to pick 3 flavors from this list. We have spicy, sweet, sour, salty, and umami. If you don't know what umami is, you can read this paragraph. Pick 3 from there. I don't want it to see any salty, sour. I don't want any combinations, hybrids. I don't want any disgusting flavors. My flavor is the flavor of disgust. I don't want to see that. You have to pick 3 from this list. And then, maybe, you don't know which ones you want to do, that's fine, you can't pick right away. Just start thumbnailing. What are thumbnails? So, thumbnail drawings are brainstorming visually. These are some examples of Bill Mayer's thumbnail drawings. And you can see he's got 42 ideas. Some are in color, some are not. So the main thing is that you need to do it small, because if you do a big thumbnail, it's going to take you forever. This is more about your idea. Don't worry about the quality of your drawing. You're brainstorming here. So at this point, anything goes. There's no bad thumbnail drawing. That doesn't exist. You need to have different compositions and different ideas. You can't draw the same idea in different compositions. So make sure that you're drawing different ideas, different concepts. You need to have space for text. It has to be vertical. The orientation of the size of your, the size of this series is going to be 11 by 8.5 by 11. It's right here, 8.5 by 11, and it's going to be vertical. So it's like a sheet of paper this way. So make sure that your thumbnails kind of aren't squares or aren't long thumbnails. It's because it needs to be, the composition needs to be vertical. You can just think about black and white right now. Don't go crazy and get really stressed out, but know that the future of this assignment is going to be in color, and you can only use 12 colors for all 3 images. So we're creating a limited color palette of 12 colors, and it has to fit all of them. So for instance, if I want to use a lot of warm colors for my spicy, and then I go to sour and everything's sort of cool, you have to make sure that your color palette is going to work for all 3 flavors. So that's kind of the You're being limited there, and that's a challenge for you. You need to, once you draw them, you're going to need to either scan if you have access to a scanner or photograph using your smartphone, and you're going to email it to me. The deadline for this is going to be Sunday, August 30th by 6 p.m. so that I have time to review them on Monday. Don't send them on Monday during class, because then I don't have time to review them and look at them with you on the third week of classes. So make sure that you get them in by Sunday at the end of the day, 6 p.m. You need 3 ideas for each flavor you pick. So I need to have 3 thumbnail ideas that have different concepts for, say, spicy, right? Does that make sense? So it's not 9 different flavors. It's a set of 3, a set of 3, and a set of 3. Right? If you're taking the picture with your phone, it's important that it's a good quality picture. If I can't see what you took, I'm going to reject it, and I'm going to make you do it again, and you're going to get a late grade on that. So make sure that you take a good picture. Take some time to do it. Here's some tips. Angle the phone directly flat, and this is your paper. Don't angle the phone this way or that way. It really makes a difference if you have it, this is your paper and this is your phone, and it's flat like that. Use good lighting. Do it near a window. Say the window is here. Put your paper there, not this way, because then all the lighting is going to be on this side. Does that make sense? So we've got a paper, and this is my window, and then all the lighting goes this way instead of this side of the paper is bright and that's not. You can use a lamp. Turn all the lights on. Go outside if you need to. You can also use natural daylight is like the best thing to use if you can go outside. So you can do that. If you can't go outside, don't worry about it. Just turn all the lights. So that's about it. You're also, one last thing, you're going to take this quiz here. I'm only going to make it active right before the date because I don't want you to cheat. So right now, if I click on it, it says access denied, so don't worry about that. That will be available to you the day before, like Sunday night. Then all of a sudden, today's Monday, it's class, and then you can click on that. If you have any issues with the quiz, email me. If you have any questions with anything, email me. These are the 5 things you need to do for this week. It's all due by next week. Schedule your week so that you're not doing everything the night before, please. Maybe today's Monday, you want to tackle these videos first, or maybe you're super excited about this assignment and you just want to bust out some really amazing brainstorming sessions. And then on Wednesday, you can get to the lessons on the website on adobe.com. I'm going to show you some student work, and then we'll call it a day, a video. We'll call it a video. I don't want to go through every single part of this assignment because we're not there yet. So right now we're just sticking to the brainstorming composition thumbnails. Don't worry right now about the coloring or anything like that, but I want to show you some student work. So here's some student work. This is like people who've never used Photoshop before. So don't think you can't do it. All right, so you can kind of see here, sour, salty, sweet, spicy. Here's a spicy, sour, And this is a pretty amazing one. Sugar so sweet, and then it says sweet there.